Episode 2 builds directly on the skin damage workflow by extending the shot into a full environment replacement. We'll take a still frame from the footage, remove the subject in Photoshop, generate a background using AI, animate flames and debris, and composite everything back in DaVinci Resolve. I'll compare different compositing approaches to achieve a clean key, match the depth of field with lens blur, and integrate the background realistically. So the first thing to do is import the footage. Again, if you don't have this from the last tutorial, then I'll put a link down below so you can just follow along from this point. And we're just scrubbing through and looking for an area where the background is at its most in focus. This frame looks like it's going to be the best one. So I'm going to come up to File, Export, Current Frame as Still. I'm going to save this as a clean plate 01 PNG. So here we are in Photoshop. The idea is that we're going to remove the foreground person and generate a clean plate to be able to work from. So using this selection tool, I can come down until it goes to the edge and make a click. It's quite close to the subject, so I'm going to come over to Selection, I'm going to go to Modify and Expand by roughly 20 pixels. And then I'm going to come down here to Remove, I'm going to click it and see what we get. This is good enough for what we need, because in the video footage I'm going to be sat in front of the table anyway, so this is fine for us for now. We're going to be using freepik.com to generate the background AI and animations. So we're going to import the footage, so we'll take the clean plate that we've just generated. We're going to drag this output and I'm going to create an assistant node. From here I'm going to use a text prompt which says, set the speaker on fire, smash the computer screen so glass and debris have fallen onto the desk, add smoke and dust to the air, keep the composition exactly as it is. And then I'm going to hit run. This is going to rewrite my text prompt and create something a little bit more friendly for the AI model. So I'm going to create an image generator where I'm going to make sure that it's selected the Google Nano Banana Pro 16:9 2K. I'm going to output from the reference image and input into the image generation, and also grab the text output and input it into the node over here, and then click run. So here we go. Doesn't look right, does it? Broken glass is in focus, but then the surrounding area isn't, so I'm going to maybe have a look at the text prompt and change it. So I'm going to copy the text here, I'm going to disconnect it, and I'm going to create a text node, just paste it in here instead. And I'm going to use this new text node, which is more basic, to be able to run another version and see if it's better. Here we go. So you can see that this version is way better than the assistant version, so I'm going to go with this one. Now that we've got the reference start frame, we can right click and go to Video Generator, and I'm going to go to Text. I'm going to grab the output from the still reference frame, and I'm going to get this text model and plug it in over here. And I'm going to put in a new text prompt, which is going to say, flames and smoke are coming out of the speaker while debris of glass shards are dropping from the computer screen. The smoke on the room evolves and swells over time. The camera is static as if mounted on a tripod. Now over here we're going to make sure it's on the Kling 2.5 model. The aspect ratio is auto, but it will take it as 16:9 from the image generator. I'm going to have it over 10 seconds and 1080p. Here we go. I think that's a little bit too explosive for my liking. I'll see if I can do another one where it's a little bit less explosive. Yeah, I think all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to remove the part about the glass shards dropping from the computer screen. So let's just leave it as here. So the new text prompt is flames and smoke are coming out of the speaker. The smoke in the room evolves and swells over time. The camera is static as if mounted to a tripod. Let's give that one a try. This one's just a bit nicer. So I'm going to save this one, so download it and we can import it into Resolve. What we're going to try to do here is mask out the foreground using Magic Mask. So the way that we do this is with the first node selected, hold down Shift and click Spacebar, and we're going to add a Magic Mask. Click Add, It's going to automatically add that in between here. Something that we're probably going to benefit from really is just having the head selected and the shirt selected as separate masks, which we can then control a little bit more how it feathers and how it blends. So the first thing to do is click on the head. So I'm going to just come in and track forwards and reverse. Okay, so that's done a very good job at selecting just the head. The next thing to do would be to add another magic mask. So I'm going to click off this magic mask. I'm going to go Shift Space Magic Mask. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to take the output from the media in and I'm going to feed that into the second magic mask. This one's just going to be for the shirt. So I'm going to come up with the plus button and I'm going to click on just the shirt. So it doesn't actually show you the selection even though we put the blue dot on the shirt, and that's because we're currently viewing in the second viewer the media out and in the first one the media in. So if we want to see the result, we want to be able to link it up. First preview it by hitting number 2, which you can see makes this white dot come up here. So it's only really selected that one bit of the shirt. So I need to give it some more points to be able to know where the selection needs to be. So I'm going to click over here and over here. Maybe we could come up and press the negative dropper and we could give it the background, so the chair, and then also over here, so it knows we definitely don't want to select anything from outside of the foreground person. So again, we need to come and go track backwards and forwards. Obviously we have a magic mask for the head and a magic mask for the body, so we want to be able to merge them together. So I'm going to unlink here and I'm going to just come up to this merge node. I'm going to drag in both of the outputs. So now they're going to be merged together. But you can't see it because we're still only viewing from here, the second viewer from the Magic Mask 2. So when we come up to the merge layer and select it and then click on 2, you can see that we've got both Magic Masks merged together and they look really good, nice and clean, apart from one thing, which is the join in between, where it's left a gap, a transparent gap. So the next thing to do is consider how we're going to get rid of this join here, the transparent join. So what we need to do is join the two masks together. So we're going to create a bitmap node by clicking Shift Space Bitmap. We're going to bring it down and we're going to plug in the merge into the bitmap. And then we're going to create a polygon node over here and we're going to drag that into the bitmap. So the idea behind this one is, as we click on the polygon node here, we can go through and cover up the area where there's the join. I'm going to just link these together and hit 2. So you can see the result. We've got a black and white bitmap. And you can see the join here is not particularly smooth. So we can click on the polygon and we can go to soft edge and we can just adjust it until it's kind of roughly around the same softness here, which is around 0.5. Polygon's doing its job here, but now we need to animate it because at frame 60 it's in the correct place, but then as it goes through it's not moving with the rest of it, so we need to animate this. The keyframes will automatically update, so I'm just going to make these moves over here. That looks like it's moved quite a long way, so I'm going to just move this mask over with it, and then I'm going to go back between the two positions and see if it looks like it's roughly right. It is, yeah. So again, I'm going to then do the same on the right hand side. Yeah, we can see that's working. Move these up. We can see over here what's happening because it updates both of the windows at the same time. It's worth spending a bit of time to get this as accurate as you can. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. What we need to do now is disconnect it from the media out. So all this work so far is producing just this bitmap, which is going to be used as the mask to be able to go over the top of the media in. So we can do that by dragging another media in over here, which can be connected to the media out. And then we're going to use this bitmap to be able to mask it. So here we go, here's the result. So you can see that we've got a nice bitmap that we can control the softness of the edge for the shirt and of the head. You can see there was a little bit of a glitch there. Hold on, where was it? Around here. You can see some of the line here coming through, so we can go through and adjust that. I'm just going to go and zoom in and just move the edge over at that point. We're going to merge the background, the new background in. So to do that, we can get the animation that we did over in FreePick, and we can just drag that in. And we want to be able to merge them together. So I'm going to create a merge mode. And I'm going to just hold down Shift as I put it between these two, and it joins them all together. And then I'm going to grab the output and I'm going to put it into this green slot here. Resize it. So if we hit Shift, space, transform, and we can adjust the size here. If we put it to 2, it'll be double the size. And you can see because the aspect ratio is slightly out, we need to maybe just adjust that very slightly to 2.01. That looks about right. And then in the merge, we can swap the order, the layer order of it. So at the minute we've got the operator as over, we could adjust that and put it to under. Let's rename some of these. So this is the magic mask head. And this one is the magic mask shirt. So if we click on the magic mask head, we can come over to the matte controls where we've got the erode dilate and also the blur. So if we just pull in the erode dilate slightly, we're going to just lose that dark edge. Something that I would like to do next is to just add a little bit of a shadow behind me. So I'm going to drag in a background and I'm going to drag in a polygon. The background's going to be black. So I'm going to use this to be able to cast a darker shadow shape just behind me here, and I'm going to control it using a polygon. So I'm going to drag the polygon into the background. I'm going to use this window over here to be able to draw roughly where I want the darker shapes to be. So I now need to merge these together. So I'm going to grab a merge node, drop it over the top here, and then just stick this in, come over to the media out and hit 2, and you can see what we've got. It's in the wrong layer order, so I need to just throw it behind. So selecting merge, I need to come over to the operator where it says over, I need to change that to under. So we can soften the edges on the polygon over here. So if we go to soften edges and just bring it out, we can then expand where we want the shadow to be able to fall. The next step is to match the focus, because naturally as I was leaning in, you can see from the original footage, as I was leaning in, the background actually comes in and out of focus, and it doesn't do that on ours, which is something that we're going to have to simulate. So to add the lens blur, we can move the media in, which is the background layer, Shift, space, bring in a lens blur. Then we can adjust the lens blur to try to match what's happening on the left-hand side with the background. So one easy way to do that is to find the closest point that the face moves to the lens, which I think when we scrub through it is probably around here. Click a point on the keyframe to be able to add for our point of most focus. And then as we come back, we can see that it drops down a little bit to here at the beginning frame. So if we bring this down to say 3, and then we'll scrub between the 2 and see if it looks more natural. On the left hand side up here, it actually stays until here. So we can then at this point go and add another keyframe. And then we're going to scrub to the right, and we can see that it stops focusing backwards around here. So I'm going to go down to maybe 2.5 and have a look at that. And then we're going to scrub through and see where it changes next. So I'm going to add another keyframe. Yep, I think that looks pretty good. I'd like to add a little bit more color to the face. Only to the face though. So we can do that by, after the media in over here, we can just add a color correction node. So if we drag it down here, holding Shift, drops it in. This way, it's only going to be affecting the face. Boost up the colors towards the orange channel because there's going to be orange that's affecting it from here, and possibly add just a touch of lift to it. There you have it. I'm just going to render this out and see how it's all worked out. Here we go, here's the finished result. Hopefully that gives you a practical way to approach this kind of composite without overcomplicating it. If you want more workflow driven breakdowns like this, subscribe and I'll see you on the next one.